Hey guys, hello. How are you doing today? Hope everyone is doing great after Thanksgiving. Hey, I just want to take a brief minute here just to do a little bit of a diagram. Try to come up with a real simplistic idea for mainly for our parents out there of our young athletes to understand the importance of strength and conditioning and kind of a simplistic way that it works with us and how we see it as an athlete. So I decided to use kind of a drawgram with a tree, not the greatest tree, all right. But I want you to kind of take a look at kind of understand the tree and the meaning of it, as the tree is the athlete, right? So as the athlete participates through sports, tree starts here, the tree gets bigger and it grows, all right, until we start to developing this tree, and obviously that trend will continue on with this tree. As athletes participates in games, seasons, high school, AAU, whatever it is, the leaves can kind of become the branches and they can kind of gain the knowledge, right? And that tree will grow taller. I'll use the ring of the tree. If we take that tree and cut it in half, you can kind of see as we go through old school, rings, and the tree is young and it gets older and older, all right? This is kind of where, in my opinion, like your position coaches and your skill coaches kind of come into the picture of the tree. It develops that girth of the tree and it gives it a little bit of stability as it gets taller. It gains knowledge so the tree gets bigger and grows. And that can also have that upward swing as well. But the things that you're doing with your AAU teams, your high schools, all that kind of stuff, and the knowledge that you're gaining from the coaches, I think that stuff kind of all comes out here into these branches, right? And that tree just grows, it gets bigger and beautiful and stronger, all right? But as we go through some storms and we weather some stuff, that tree is faced with the adversity of some wind, some rain. In the athletes' cases, it's stressors, it's lack of recovery, it's poor nutrition, it's poor sleep, poor diet, poor things maybe just around your home. This athlete, like this tree, is just getting bombarded with things, right? So one of the things that we look at as strength and conditioning coaches is the foundation or the root system, right? So this is where we come in. And this is what I'm really passionate about, because as you can see, strength coaches don't get a lot of credit because everything that's the beautiful part about the athlete is what sits above the ground, right? But the strength coaches that are out there are these guys that are developing these root systems, right, for this tree. If those root systems do not develop and grow, as this tree grows, we generate a weakness, all right? And that tree can come down. It can get damaged by some of these outside elements of poor nutrition, injuries, home life, school, whatever it may be. So it's extremely important for us throughout the whole growth of this tree, which is our athlete, bear with me, all right, that we work on this foundation. Now, what we've seen especially from a lot of parents, all right, to throw you under the bus just a little bit, this is the glamorous stuff. Everybody wants to see our athletes as this strong, beautiful tree, right? But if we want this tree to continue to keep growing, it's important to invest some time and effort on this root system. As this tree starts to grow, this root system needs to sink down and get developmentally stronger as well. All right? So it's understanding that the strength and conditioning system is like the root system for your athletes. It was just something that I had been thinking about, and I hope that it kind of gives and sheds a little bit of light onto the reason that we put so much emphasis on strength and conditioning and why it's so important. That even because you don't see it, it truly is responsible for the baseline of the success of that athlete. Now, I do believe in balance, and a lot of people, I think, push themselves to one direction or the other. I'm a big believer that some of it's money driven, but that's a whole different topic. But I'm a fan of all of these things. I'm a fan of your high school coaches doing their work. I'm a fan of the skilled coaches doing their work. I'm a fan of the tournaments and the play and the extra practice, all right? I'm even a fan of these outside influencers, all right? The potential for injury, the poor diet, the sleep habits, the eating habits. Those things are all important, because if we never tested that athlete, it would never endure any of that, all right? So we need those outside stressors at all the time to come down and that effort, put that effort into that athlete and challenge them a little bit. Because if we don't have challenge, we don't grow, correct? However, I feel that there's been a tremendous shift to this and a tremendous shift away from this, all right? So I encourage you all to take a look at your athletes. If the tree diagram helps, if it doesn't, but take a look at them and just ask yourself, Do we have our athletes right now in something that is balanced? Or are we pouring all of our effort into one glass, all right? If everything is put into, trimming this tree so that it looks beautiful, right? And it's all flowered and fertilized correctly so that this thing just throws off tremendous amount of shade and color, all right? That windstorm is going to come in and wipe that tree out. So those are the things that I want you as parents and athletes to start considering as you guys start to evaluate your programs, what's coming forward in 2021 with, some schools and sports canceling, closing, not having them. What are you doing to utilize your time to make sure this right here stays true and stays balanced? Thank you guys. Hope it helped.